Hello everyone, welcome to Painty Pals. I'm Jen, and today we will be learning how to make some watercolor bookmarks. This is a favorite hobby of mine because it is so relaxing, simple, and open to creativity. So come along, enjoy the journey, and let's get started. You will need some thick paper, preferably watercolor or mixed media paper, some watercolors, a brush of your choice, I'm using a round number 6 brush, and ribbon and a hole puncher if you'd like. You can also add inking, glitter, graphite, or anything else to this bookmark at any time in our painting process to make this bookmark unique to you. Today I am going to try to remake one of my older bookmarks. This one is super simple and also involves some basic watercolor techniques. By the way, please dismiss the textbooks on the side. I just needed something to put my phone on so I can get a better angle for this project. I'm starting off by putting down a thin coat of just water. I'm going to be using a wet-on-wet technique to create the sky and the clouds, so this coat of water is going to help my watercolor pigments disperse in a way to create that effect. While my bookmark is still wet, I'm going to grab some blue paint and apply that to my wet paper. Notice how my paint is slowly dispersing because of that coat of water we just applied underneath. Now I'm going to move the paint around to thin out the color and create light and dark spots on my bookmark, similar to how the sky has variations of blue and white. As always, you can move the paint around in any way you'd like. This is totally up to your creativity, so have a little bit of fun with it. So after letting the bookmark dry for a bit, and while it's still barely wet, I'm going to go in with a clean brush after dipping it in water. Then I'm going to add splashes of this water over my paint to try to disperse the paint a little bit and create blotches of white. I'm trying to mimic clouds here, so this is totally optional. While letting this bookmark dry, I got my second piece of paper, and honestly, this started out as just a doodle to pass the time, but it quickly spiraled into something I'm really proud of. I'm just beginning to draw these leaves using a brush technique where I put my brush down on its tip, press down as I drag it across, and lift up on the tip of the brush. This thin to thick to thin brushstroke creates a really nice leaf effect. I also decided to add a rose. Drawing flowers are one of my favorite things to do, so for this rose, I started out by painting 2 small curved petals on the inside. Then I added more and more petals, curved around that center until the flower became as full as I wanted it. I'm just going to add some petals falling out of the rose and a sunflower in the corner. Right now my paint is pretty diluted, but you can definitely adjust that to whatever you like depending on how opaque you want your flowers to be in the end result. Right now, I'm connecting the brown and the yellow parts with my brush to get a gradient with my flower. This is just how I wanted to make the sunflower look, and again, it's totally optional and up to you. Now I'm adding more vines and finishing the bookmark with these splatters of yellow paint. I love adding these little dots to finish off my pieces, and I think it gives the bookmark a really fun and whimsical look. So back to the blue bookmark, it should be totally dry before we add in the birds. I'm taking some black paint and practicing using the tip of my brush before I go in and draw the bird silhouettes. You can also opt for a brush with a smaller tip for this step, or you can use an ink pen to draw in the birds. Right now, I'm drawing in these V shapes to represent the wings of the bird in flight. And I'm also varying the bird sizes to make it look like I have birds flying both close and far away from me. For the big bird on the right, I found some images online of bird silhouettes and I just copied the outline and filled it in. Now we are done. You can totally add any sparkles or anything else to this bookmark. I'm just going to stop here and go back to my flower bookmark and add some finishing touches like more yellow dots and shading from my flowers. This is totally optional and you can change up the style with different flowers, leaves, etc. Remember to have fun and relax during this entire process. Now that I'm finished with both of my bookmarks, I'm just going to take an extra step and hole punch them so I can put a ribbon at the top. For the ribbon, I'm going to take my cut and line up the ends. Then, I'm going to push the ends through the hole and push it under the loop at the end. I'm going to pull this gently, and now you should end up with a good and sturdy knot. Here is me tying the knot again if you missed it. And we are finally done. I hope hope you found this tutorial helpful and inspiring, especially in this stressful period of our lives. I know that for me, I am going to be using these bookmarks for the books that I am reading during our time at home and to mark my place in my exam textbooks. Make sure to leave a like and a comment, subscribe, and tag us to your creations on Instagram at Painty Pals, and check on us often for more videos. Have a wonderful week, wash your hands, and I'll see you next time.